Hi everyone, welcome back. This week we talk about a topic that most of us use every day and again are not fully aware of, or at least not to the extent maybe that we're utilizing it. So we're talking about gestures and posturing. Um, I'm a hand talker, so in a face-to-face class especially, and then even in these videos, you can often see my hands flailing about. Um, I'm aware of that, and yet if I were to try to not use my hands while speaking in any sort of capacity, it would feel very foreign and very odd to me. So we use our hands for a variety of purposes in terms of gesturing, and those are covered in your textbook this week. It can be really difficult to exclude gestures, and yet their meanings aren't always readily available. So your book will help you delineate between speech independent and speech dependent gestures. And you'll talk about one of those. So in a speech independent gesture, you don't need the contextual information to figure out what I'm saying, right? So you don't need a verbal confirmation. So for example, um, if we're driving along on the freeway and I do not appreciate that you cut me off, I can do a gesture that shows you that I do not appreciate that you cut me off. And we don't have to discuss that, right? Like you know what that means. You know the gesture. You might even be familiar with it. I don't know. But so that is an example of a speech independent gesture because the context is not necessarily as important because you don't need the verbal language to back it up. Whereas a speech dependent gesture, you do need that contextual information. So for example, if I hold up my hands, you don't know if I'm saying peace, you don't know if I'm ordering I want 2 pizzas. So you need the context of what we're talking about. It's really important in order to understand that. And it's especially important if there's pizza involved because pizza. So your topic submission is due this week for your research paper. And this isn't worth any points, but you need to run them by me so I can make sure that you're not trying to cover a topic that is illegal or inappropriate for a class with no IRB. And also just so that I'm not getting, 97 papers on tattoos as personal expression or something. Just an example. But so make sure that you send me those and I will get back to you as to which to proceed with. And it's important, I know it seems early on, but it's important to be getting this stuff to me because I want you to be working on your drafts and I want you to be putting some thought into this. And in order to make sure that you have a well-designed study, you kind of need to be cognizant about what kind of work is going to go into that. Your activity report is to finish that city training that you started at the very start of the semester on ethics training. So this is kind of a good refresher as to kind of things that you need to be thinking about when you start research with human subjects. So I will be in touch soon, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.